Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to Final Friday. I am in a good mood because I was just in a lovely chat this morning. So, hello. My name is Margaret Pennard. I'm a historical fiction and fantasy author and an eclectic reader. And we are here for the final Friday of the month, which means a productivity stream. So, I do a couple of hours where we just body double, maybe tell each other what we're working on just to keep us accountable, do our thing, and just chat in between. So, welcome if you are new here, and let me know what you're going to be working on today if you have that in mind. If you need the first sprint to figure it out, that is fine as well. So I am going to be working on preparation for Sunday's stream, and this is a little sort of teaser. Coming up next, I'm doing a series called Truth and Reconciliation for the Climate, and our June talk is going to be with author Susan Palumbo. She's a person whose book I read, which is very exciting, and she's got multiple awards in the science fiction and fantasy space, so very curious. We're going to talk about decolonization and the climate crisis, so we'll have a lot of interesting things to say, sort of under the Climathon label. So that will be my Sunday stream on June 29th, 10 a.m. Pacific. And hope you can join for that. I'm going to be brainstorming questions and sort of fitting the interview into some sort of flow. So that will be my first task. What are you guys feeling up to working on today? Hello. I bet Jim's going to be reading before he goes to sleep. Hello, Jim. And Cat Paw, hello. And if you wanted to know what lovely chat put me in a good mood this morning, there's someone called the Book Hermit, and they go by Hermie, and they're British, and they're doing sprints, and I think they're doing much longer sprints, but they've got a nice little community, and everyone's perfectly lovely, so I just had to tear myself away from there to come over here and start my own sprints. But if you want to check her out, that'd be really cool. Jim says, I'm reading The Perfect Place to Die by Inger Wolf, a Danish noir set in Japan. Interesting. So the author is Danish, Inger Wolf, and it's set in Japan. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Very cool. Kat is here to say, hey. Is Kat pretending to work? Is Kat on a break from work? I'm curious. And Albert the Conjugator. Hello. Albert's been putting posts up pretty regularly. And maybe that's just I'm receiving them pretty regularly and other people are, but I'm not seeing them. Depends on when I go to the home tab. But they're pretty funny. So thank you, Albert, for the laughs on those posts. Music related, film related, some other stuff going on. Maybe it's June on the Range related because I think Jim and you are both working on those. Watch the video later tonight. Sounds good. You'll have to skip through all the productivity parts. Oh, okay. So Jim is giving more details. The author is Danish. The murder victim is Danish, and a Danish detective is sent to Japan to investigate. Interesting. Huh. Perfect Place to Die. So I wonder if that person has other books set in Denmark, and they just wanted a wild romp in Japan. I've read a couple mystery books set in Korea. One set in Korea. I think that's the only one I can think of at the moment, but it was by a Korean author. So Kat says, I'm putting off dishes and recording to finish Promises in Death, finally. Oh, is that a J.D. Robb? I can tell by the title. That's fun. Well, I put off several things to finish a couple books yesterday and the day before, so I get that feeling. Totally get that feeling. I did I do a wrap up? No, I didn't do a wrap up this past Wednesday, so I'll be talking about those next Wednesday. Yeah. Hi, Paula. There we go. I clicked on it and didn't pop over. Paula Lacey was in the chat that I was just in, so lovely of you to come in and say hi. Kat says, I'm home for a change. I've been dropping it on my face every night after work, enjoying a day off avoiding heat. Oh, yeah. Is it still a heat wave for most of the country? It's like misting and completely fogged in over here in Portland. So I'm enjoying it. I know it won't last. It'll go up and then down and then up and then down. Kind of like what Elaine was describing. I'm gonna enjoy the dips. That's all I got. Yeah, South Korea. It's a police inspector, and it was like a little avant-garde, but I think it's like 5 to 10 years old at this point. I can't remember what it's called. Stream hopping. Okay, so in the people's chat, who I have been accustomed to seeing in the past few years, you put a frog. So just like you have a Grinch check, we have a frog because the frog indicates that you're stream hopping from stream to stream. So just more booktuber lore. But this is Hermie the Book Hermit, who is running sprints, and fancy seeing you again today. Yeah, thank you for stopping in. Kat says already 82 at noon. Yeah. Kat, you're further south than me, so your hottest hours of the day should be earlier, right? Because where I grew up in Central California, it was like 12 to 3 was the hottest part of the day, and now that I'm in more northern climes in Portland, it's like 3 to 5 is the hottest part of the day because of the angle of the sun. So I hope it doesn't get too much hotter for you. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, love the frog. Yeah. And just people saying hello, which is lovely. So I've said that I'm going to be working on my Sunday stream preparation where I get to interview author Susan Palumbo, who is a sci-fi fantasy, goth, dark, speculative fiction. So actually something Swake might be interested in for sure. And we're going to talk decolonization and climate crisis. But what all are you going to be working on? I've heard from Jim. He's going to be reading a Danish noir. How about everyone else? I'm going to go set up my banner because I don't do the fancy share screen anymore. I'm going to edit this. Let's start at 10, 25. Let's go till 35. All right. Paula says 82. That's hot. Cooler for me today and so glad. Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah. Elaine was talking about her cats were panting and stressed out. And my cat seems to handle the heat better than I do. So I'm glad for that. Cat Boss says, I was kind of excited about it being cooler today, 28°C instead of 34. But it's raining with 100% humidity, obviously, so it feels like swimming. That's not a nice feeling when you feel like you have to change clothes 3 times a day. I tell you, yeah, I was just journaling about this morning. Sometimes if I'm in a funk, I'll go take a shower and I feel like a new person and it feels like I can restart the day and it's lovely. But if it was 100% humidity anyway, I don't think I would feel that. I think it would be continued grossitude. Kat says it keeps getting hotter till 5-ish. Cooler today at 87. I'm guessing the high instead of 90s highs we've been having. Well, again, from the previous chat I was in, ice cream cake. I think you should explore the possibilities of ice cream cake, Kat. Where you're talking about those. Apparently it's ice cream cake day today, so go wild. You've got permission. Hermes says, I'm working on storygraph challenges for Reset-a-thon and hoping to read some after that. Very cool. Okay, so this is one I discovered. I can't promise anything because I just went off readathons in my last stream, but it's really cute. They've got a bingo board with all these graphics, and somehow it's Tetris related. So I didn't click to go into all the graphics about the Tetris related part, but I think there's 2 alternate systems, and it's just a bunch of fun things. I think it's for the whole summer, or maybe it's for July. This level 3 Reset-a-thon. So very fun. Humidity is evil. I mean, I can't say that because some humidity is good. I mean, moisture, the evaporation cycle, like water is life, Kat. So be careful what you say. In case you ever get a genie in a lamp, be careful. Jim says peaked at 32°C today in Tbilisi, and tomorrow forecast for 32. Oh, well, I gotta do it. Let's see. 32°C. 2F. That's what Google says. 89.6 Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's fairly hot. I would not like that here in Portland. So do what you got to do. Work the windows, work the drafts, work the ice machine. High in Tbilisi, which is more north than Portland, is around 4 p.m. Okay. Kat says, yes, I filmed a quick garden video and had to shower. Felt so gross. Ugh. A garden video. Oh, that's right. You're doing these like, I see the pictures. I don't see the videos, I think. All the lovely flowers and stuff in your garden. Ben, hello, hello. I heard ice cream cake. Happy ice cream cake day. Kat says, so much sugar. I haven't had one in years, but ice cream cake sounds amazing. Yeah, fair. Yeah. I used to have those for my birthdays as a kid from Baskin Robbins, and it's still like it's a good core memory. They were like round, like rolled up cakes, and yeah, they're just delightful. Thanks for the shout out. I appreciate you. Level 3 is 1 July to 3 August. Okay. Level 3. So does it just keep going? The reset. I'm curious about this because there's so many bells and whistles on it by now. I think if I had started, I would understand it more, but I have to go back in the lore to figure it out. It sounds very fun. Hey Ben, hey all. And we're past the time when I was going to start. Same latitude as Des Moines, Iowa. Humidity just 30%, 36%. So not too bad. Yeah, that sounds even. That sounds manageable. All right, so I'm going to pop up our banner here and we're going to jump into our first sprint of 25 minutes minus 2, so 23. And yeah, tell me what you're working on if you come in. And I'll mute myself and speak again in 22 minutes. And it's 35 minutes. So I'm going to reconnect with the chat here after I give my report. I got through a few more questions. I read a little bit of the book. Okay, so here's what I did in order. So the talk that I'm preparing for is Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific in 2 days, and it's with author Susan Palumbo. She wrote Countess, a novella that is dark speculative fiction, climate crisis, LGBTQ representation, and for Curbathon. So like all the things going on this month. So she's the perfect guest. I read it last year, almost a year ago, November. It came out in September. And so I checked out the ebook from the library to refresh my memory, and I'm sort of skimming through to remember, to bolster the things that I remember from the book and like pick up specific cues so that I can inform my questions better. So did pretty well with that. And then I was trying to keep up with some of the chat. So how about you guys? What did you get done during our first productivity sprint? We had a JC come in and say hello. Kat was saying, I didn't know it could be less than 80% till I moved to New Mexico for a few years. That'll be pretty dry. Kat Post says, yes, this. And Jim says Tbilisi is about the same latitude as the Oregon-California border. So maybe I was being too general. I know I looked up Mojo's location in Poland and I put a random city in Poland. So I may have been off on that. Ugh, now I have to do it again because I don't remember. I'm above Oregon-California border. I'm more like the Oregon-Washington border. So I'm above Tbilisi, Georgia. Okay. Eva came in and said hello. I see Eva's been on Instagram. I saw a flurry of stuff on Instagram when I was not supposed to be on it earlier. And then we've got a JK Lambo in the chat saying hello to everyone and asking what we're working on. New member. So I don't even know how this works. I saw Hermie do this and it just popped up that there's a new member. So let's see if Felicia is down in the chat. I'll just continue and see if I can figure it out. Elaine popped in to hit the like, soon popping back out to do some recording. She says she sat out at lunch and now feels like sitting in a shower, but it was worth it as the little groundhogs were out and about. Yeah, they're pretty cute. I don't know how far away you're zooming in for those photos, but they look like they're getting pretty close. So maybe they're getting fearless, which I don't know if it's a good thing. Maybe, maybe not. Fen says, currently finally getting to read, and he's reading On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. Not my normal type of read. No. The ones you've been quoting recently, especially in the chat with Noah. I did just pick up my holds. I've got my manga of 1984 and Hell Followed With Us. I'm a little scared. I'm going to start it and we'll see if it's too much for me. And if it's too much, I will rely on your takes more. But yeah, a little daunted. Not going to lie. Cat's here says hello to JK. Elaine, get any cute lunch visitors? Yes, the groundhogs. Kat, are you in the sexy socks boxer chat? Because you posted a photo, which is cute. Okay, here it is. Yay, confetti. They should throw confetti for this. Yay. Thank you, Felicia. Became a YouTube member. So you get little emojis in the chat and you get access to a few videos. And seeing how I hadn't put some up in the past couple months, I got an idea this morning when I was in that weird liminal sleep state for videos that I can put up for members going forward. So excited about that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate that a lot. She says hi, little wave. And Eva says, hey, sorry. I'm clicking on the three dots and it's threatening to delete the chat. So yeah, here we go. There we go. It's just giving like a little tic-tac-toe kind of emoji. Curious. but Eva's a member too, so that's nice. Oh, Kat says hello to Alicia. What did Lily think of your groundhogs? Oh, yeah. We've got Panther, we've got Xena, we've got Lily. Are any of them interacting with the groundhogs? I am curious too. Felicia is saying hello to all present. Elaine says about 15 or 20 feet. I keep my distance and Mama is also out and about, so don't want to upset her. Yeah, there you go. That makes sense. 15 or 20 feet. Okay, so pretty zoomed in. Gotcha. Felicia says, hope everyone is well. Kat says, that's fairly close. Not too long till you can get some scratches in. Hopefully not. I don't know how, how friendly they are. Ben says, yeah, it's very different to Luke Tarzian. Hell followed with us can be a rough read, and it starts quickly and brutally. All right. Well, if I come to that, I'm like, oh no, we're not doing this. I'll let you know. Eva says, book magic, potatoes, slave bomb, airmail. Those are all the emojis that YouTube has for being a member that I can't see in StreamYard. So you can probably see them on YouTube. Let me check. Yes, okay, you can see them in the YouTube chat, so I'll just go merrily along. Elaine says, lol, cat, no, playing with the groundhogs. No playing with the groundhogs. Cuddles and scratches just for Lily. Everyone else stays wow. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Lily's used to them. She's been outdoors for 10 years. A feral colony used to them, and the baby skunks all share the yard peacefully. Well, isn't that nice? I think this means that Elaine is a Disney princess. My 3 kids don't go outside. They just watch from the windows. The cat's inside. Okay. Okay. Nice. I will say Bean likes watching the birds, but sometimes my eyes are very sensitive to peripheral movement, and I'll see the birds on the porch. He's facing away, so he doesn't see them. And I'm like, dude, you're missing the birds. But then I think about the fact that I think humans are the only species. Maybe something in the like gorilla or ape family does too. But when you point to something, the animal will look at the finger pointing rather than understanding that it's meant to indicate something over there. And so when I point to the birds, he's like, what's wrong with your finger? So that whole logic of pointing thing, interesting to know that doesn't cross species. Elaine says, Panther was outdoors for his first 4 months. Born feral, moved in 8 years ago, and has never shown any interest in going back outside. Very human of him. And then there's little man who got sprayed by a skunk and wants to chase everything that moves outside. So yeah, different strokes for different cats or dogs. Yeah. There's Dee. Hello. How's it going? We just finished sprint number 1 and doing good, in a good mood. How's it going over there in the evening, in the future? I was jumping back in. This is a great opportunity to mention, since I haven't mentioned it yet, but I am preparing things for Agitation August, which is my intensive for this August. I'll be sharing the stage with folks every weekday in August that I can. And Dee Dee is one of the guests, so is Elaine. And it's just people who I feel like really engage with the subject matter when it's something related to agitation, like getting up in arms about something or thinking deeply and condemning a practice, or being really open to listening to other people's practices. So inviting people on, we're going to talk a different book for each person. So I've set myself basically a whole readathon because I'm trying to buddy read like 16 books for August. So that will be my July reading list, and I'm sure I'll have an announcement coming out about that soon, but I'm very excited. Let's see. Elaine says, oh yeah, I need to pick a pic and send it to you. Yes, picture, but also a word. So one of the fun things, and I think Dee Dee needs to do this too, is that I'm going to do a little bingo board to encourage everyone to go to the different talks, and the key to the bingo board is that there will be vocabulary words on the different squares and like $10 words, like SAT words, right? Because this is about people who are thinking critically, thinking deeply about their reading. So I'm going to be a word nerd. And when you listen to each speaker, we will work it into the conversation, their favorite fancy word, right? And so if it's on your bingo board, you'll get to mark that. And then if you get a bingo, enter it into the drawing. I've got 3 prizes, which are different bookstore gift cards. So that will be the fun of the word nerdery. Eva says, oh, good. A Margaret stream every day. Yeah, I think I'm going to toss out all my normal ones. So no Sunday streams and no Wednesday wrap-ups, which will mean that like I will have a backup of Wednesday reads wrap-ups, but I think because my July reading and August reading will be all these people's chosen books, it will like naturally work itself out, and then I could just do like a cleanup round in after August is done with all the books that I read on the side. We'll see if there's any in that category. That'll be fun. Hot. It is hot in France. Yeah. Thinking about doing a book review. Haven't done one in a while. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Your Friday morning chats are glorious, and it's a lovely community. I don't normally do standalone book review videos either. I think the last one I did was Better Catastrophe. So maybe December. I just do my wrap ups, and there's usually like 5, 6, 7 books at once, which I know isn't the preferred format for search, but that's me being me. Elaine says, like the start of my stream yesterday. I can't remember what this is about. Start of your stream. I was there for your start of the stream, but I've missed it. Kat says we have to wait till August to be agitated. I've been doing life wrong lately. No. You definitely do it in advance. But yeah, this is just a special occasion. So we're laughing. Felicia says 16. Holy moly. I'm averaging about 6 books a month. Yeah. That's great. Whenever I hear the statistic of like the average American reads 1 book a year, I'm like, how? How is it the average when there's so many people I know that read like 5, 6, 10, whatever? So most people must not be reading. So I'm glad you're in there helping the average get up a little bit, which is awesome. Does Shanky count as agitated? Okay, so I just learned this term in the chat a couple days ago when Kat said Shanky. I'm more used to the term stabby, so it might be a regional dialect difference. Agitated. Yes, I definitely think that is agitated. Eva says, I'm still reading the same book and I like it. I'm just slow. LOL. So my book content is going great. I think you're doing great. Your Instagram content that I see when I'm not supposed to be on there is life stuff, which is just as enriching. So yeah, you're good. Dee Dee says, that's how I started doing my Booktube channel, doing reviews. Ah, interesting. So like you got an arc, you sort of drift different focuses. Yeah. I've had several rebirths on my channel in terms of focus as well. Yeah. I hope you're doing what works for you now. So if you're thinking about doing a review and like revisiting that, probably feels right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Agitating my captain makeup comment. Gotcha. Yeah. I think I came in as when you were saying you weren't going to apologize for the captain makeup comment. So I actually missed that. That was a good one, Ellie. Yeah. Honestly, if I get 5 off the TBR a month, I'm proud of myself. Yeah. That's yeah, worthy of pride. Yeah. I feel like I need books to get through life, so that's probably why I read more. But yeah. Definitely pride worthy, especially given the month. Oh, look, my nemesis. Hi, Jack. Jack may be interested to know, and this will bring me back to getting into our next sprint. Sci-fi finds. I'm gonna have a sci-fi author on the channel on Sunday. So if you're curious, Susan Palumbo is a dark speculative fiction author. Her latest, greatest novella is called Countess, and it's like decolonization in space. It's really good. So I read that last year, and we'll be talking about decolonization and climate crisis. Working at her work, of course. Yeah, he likes to jump in and just say that to everyone. So that's what I found out. Jim says, I put up a review today on my channel, my 203rd one. Oh, third 1-minute review. Can't read at the speed of speaking. Nice. I think day 0 was in your mid-year rating best books, right? That's exciting. Eva says, I want to read more. I have room for it in place of other things. Fingers crossed. Okay. All right. Well, we can support you in that too. Elaine says, books have been getting me through life since I was 5. Yes, I remember that from your recent stream too. A few decades of reading. A few decades. Yep. 203. Congrats. Yeah. Yeah. Jim and I started about the same time. So 1-minute review. His 1-minute reviews didn't start until like the 3rd year, maybe. So that's a lot. Really, really good work. Jack says, I definitely check that out. Thanks for the heads up. I don't think that I would be any good at interviewing authors for my channel, so I'll live through you. Well, anyway, that brings you the interesting topics I support. All right. What are you sipping today? And then day 0 was one of the 5-star reads. Yes. Excellent. All right. So I'm going to take this as my cue to update my banner. 52. We're going to do 25, which is 57, I think. Let me check. Nope, that's not it at all. Let's see. 53. 7 plus 20. Yeah, we'll just do that. We'll do a 27-minute because I stole 2 minutes from the last one. So we're going to jump into our second sprint, everybody. And I'm going to continue working on the Sunday stream, maybe drift a little into Patreon stuff, and mute myself until I see you in 27 minutes. And we're up to 20 after. How did you do? Did that 27 minutes fly by? I've been listening to a song on repeat, and it's from K-pop Demon Hunters. All right. Well, with that fascinating tidbit of news, my report out is I think I pretty much finished my questions. I was doing it in the big red book. So pencil, but lots of room, and I like that. And then I sent a text. So I did a social thing. I looked at my weekend and sort of planned that out a little bit. And then I realized I had some things I wanted to put into the new planner, which is why I had this question in the chat. So I'll come back to that. But then I started doing planner things like using the tape and using the stickers, like Eloise's sticker, and drawing lines and stuff. So I was doing planner things. How about you guys? Let's see. So Felicia said, I realized at the end of last year that I'm a mood reader. I think that's where I left off. Yeah, I am a mood reader, but like I've got several distinct moods that I just ping between, really. And Climb-a-thon is one of those. So big emphasis this summer. Enjoy the sprint, off to record, set a lane out in the yard. JK is revising chapter 9 of her Pastry Chef Rivals to Lovers work in progress. Ben says, hope it's going well. Eloise popped in to say happy Friday. Nice to see. This is the song that I've been playing on repeat. So the movie's so good. I'm going to try not to bring it up during Sunday stream. Ben says not yet, but I am this weekend with kids, which is very cool. I hope you really enjoy it. I want the tiger, which I don't understand in this context. Is there a tiger? Oh, yes, because that was the teaser. There's this big tiger character, and there's a bird with 3 eyes and a hat. Yes, that's funny. Also, Soda Pop is stuck in my head. I missed this comment. So that's in the teaser. That's not the best song. I didn't even buy that one. I bought all the other songs, main songs from the soundtrack, but I downloaded them and I'm going to go dance to them later today. So I just said it's so good. I hope you like it too. And then this is my follow-on question from the planner. It's a niche question, but does anyone else get stressed when transitioning planners? So mine don't fall on the year end. They fall middle of the year. So I was just preparing, and I've been preparing for what seems like a month because I ran out of room. I had to put the new tags in the new planner. I had to take the old tags and make a little like flap for this because I didn't give myself enough space. So anyway, I've got the next 2 months sort of given room, and I've told myself that I need more brainstorming space. So I'm going to put in more pages in between the months because I feel like I ran out. But yeah. Uh-oh. We taped a page. Shoot. All right. Let's see if I can get tape off of the page and put it on the correct one. I did a edge with tape, and it went over 2 pages instead of just the one. So now I gotta pick it back up. And well, I already did this other stuff on this page, so I guess I'll leave it there. And then this will be even more brainstorming space. All right. We rescued it. It'll be fine. Yeah. Ben said, I like moving house, but then I am odd. And at first I thought he said I am old. And I thought, how does old mean moving house? And then I read it again and understood. Because yeah, I was gonna say that's a weird thing to do. Dee Dee talking about Jim's comment, 1-minute reviews are cool, but difficult to do. Yeah, to try to condense all that in a short, concise, you definitely have to draft it beforehand, I would say. It makes it easy to correct the captions. Fair enough. Yeah, if you're gonna make them not craptions, but captions, it's a lot less to go through. True. Cat Paw says, I put my back out in my sleep last night and just so much pain I can't focus on anything. Well, you must have been fighting demons in your sleep. That's rough. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, I hope you find something for the pain in the short term and your back works itself out in the medium term. Effing talented. I am. Yeah. We've got the Great Literary Rabbit Hole. Hello and welcome. Joining in here, reading the Old Curiosity Shop. Oh, that's neat. Is that for Big Book Summer? Old Curiosity Shop. I think that's Dickens, but maybe it's one of his shorter works. I don't know. Jim would know. We will ask Jim. Kat says, adulting all done for the day and lunch ordered with leftovers for the other human to pick up on his way home. Yay for way reading the rest of the day. Nice. I went out on a walk to do things and came home and then realized that I had one more errand to do. And I wrestled with this decision because it's cat food. It's just like 2 blocks away. But if you get a big bag, it's really awkward to carry home for that 2 blocks up the hill, around the corner, up the driveway. So I was like, do I get the car out for 2 blocks? That is really, really grating my moral conscience. And I thought, no, I'll just get a smaller bag. I'll get the medium size and I'll hoof it home with a backpack. So that's what I did. And since I was going out with the backpack for cat food, I gave myself permission to pick up a pizza on the way back. So I carried a pizza and cat food in my backpack. I like how that worked out because now I have half a pizza in the fridge. All right, so Ven's explaining himself. He says, I like setting up a new space. It makes me happy. Okay, but you gotta go through everything from the old space. For me, that means like dredging up things that you haven't accomplished, which is why it makes it such a chore. Right now, I'm having to let go of a bunch of stuff because it's cluttered up the space, and that is what is making me unhappy. So I guess you're highlighting the sunshine, the silver lining, which is good. Great Literary Rabbit Hole says, it's for my DIY lit degree reading. And yes, it's a big book. Okay. All right. Oh, it's for a degree. It's for serious things. Excellent. Yeah. Jim says, is Dickens is not particularly short. Yeah. Have you guys seen that meme that says, is a cinnamon roll would still murder you? Looks like a cinnamon roll is a cinnamon roll. Have you seen those? They're pretty funny. That's what came to mind when Jim said this. Oh, my copy is over 600 pages. Yeah, not particularly short. Okay. All right. Excellent. As we know, Dickens was paid by the word, so most of his books are very wordy. Yeah. Makes sense. Kat says, that's what I ordered. Had points that will expire middle of the next week. So Domino's with extra garlic butter. Ooh. Sounds sumptuous. Nice. Ben says it encourages me to clear out what I don't need anymore, so it feels like a personal cleanse, weirdly. Well, no, it would if you could clear out what you don't need anymore. That's the hard part, though. That's the hard part for me. So the fact that it's not hard for you, I don't know, is that encouraging? Yeah, we'll consider that encouraging. I like it. So I moved on to my planner, which will give me some good stuff to do. I have also the weekend stuff that I was planning. Yesterday, one of the things I got done was like going through the old planner, cleanse, exactly. And I have some tasks. I have some checks, benchmarks, puzzles, ponders, proud ofs, and more tasks. So I figured that was pretty successful. So that's good. We'll do some of that. One of the things is kicking off the consultant from my website. I could do that during the next sprint. So we've got 30 minutes left, which is time for one sprint. Let's just jump into it. We'll say 25 minutes to balance it out, which means take us till 55 minutes after the hour. Boom. So I'll mute myself and see you in 25 minutes. Last sprint, everybody. Yes, that was me enjoying a different song on the soundtrack. Okay, Ben left to deal with his spawn. But let's see what else we have in the chat. I was sort of going through as I looked up each time. So I worked on the planner, then set it aside, worked on some stickers in the planner to make it fun, and then started some correspondence, which is nice. I don't know if anyone else does snail mail here, but I love it. All right, so we talked about pizza and planner cleansing, and then Ben left to sort out the spawn, and Kat was like, spawn? Yeah, frog spawn. Dee says, I think next year I'm just going to use a Clairefontaine notebook size A5. I'm not sure what A5 is. Let's check. Paper size. It is US. Nope. 5.8 by 8.2. So about 5.8. So I think it's like this one. Is this an A5? Maybe. It's thick. I mean, it's a year's worth. I just started in the middle of the year, so now every year it's in the middle of the year. That way I don't have to worry about getting another one. They are inexpensive here. Oh, I read it wrong. I thought you said expensive here because you didn't have to worry about getting another one. Oh, okay. So, can I get it from here? Is it the right angle? Oh no, this is Rhodia. Maybe I don't have a new Clairefontaine in the stack. Anyway, I have a whole drawer of empty notebooks to use, and I know there's a Clairefontaine in there somewhere, but they have that like smooth paper. I love French paper notebooks. But yeah, I misunderstood that, so that comment doesn't make sense. Dee says the old curiosity shop is funny though. Yeah, cool. So Great Literary Rabbit Hole is the one reading it, and Jim was giving her advice. Catpaw says, ooh, Clairefontaine drools in stationery appreciation. Really pricey here too. Some of the Miniso stationery is pretty good though. And I don't know that one. Is it French? Is it Mexican? Is it somewhere else? Let's see. Miniso, Portland. Asian household goods store. There's one in Clackamas County, which is only, well, it's a drive anyway. I'm not going to get there on foot. Cool. All right. We have a different Asian household goods store that came in a few years ago, and it was like so hyped. It's okay. I don't remember what it is. Jim says, slightly disappointed there wasn't more time spent in the curiosity shop. Oh. And Dee says, I live in France, so Clairefontaine notebooks are inexpensive. Yeah, okay. She's explaining. And then Dee also said, agreed. Grandpa and granddaughter were always outgoing from town to town. Oh, that sounds fun. A5 is half the size of A4. Well, it doesn't help me, Jim. I don't have these presets in my brain. I think A5 is the one that's awkwardly larger than our binder paper. So 8.5 by 11. So it's like not fax size. I don't know. We'll look it up later. Kat says they've got a suspect trying to get enough for a warrant in the last 30-ish pages in her in-death book. Awesome. So you're going to finish that up before dinner, after lunch for me, I'm guessing. Jealous. Yeah, jealous of the stationery proximity. Yes. Okay. Asian household store. A5 notebook is about €3. Wow. A5. So maybe the size that I'm using. Let's see if it says in here. It might, because this is like German or something. Bitte zurückschenden. It doesn't. It's look term. Let's see. Oh, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. Oh, it's horizontal. 5.8 by 8.3. So it's like 8.5 by 11, but half size. So it's like binder paper, but half size. Okay, so I'm thinking this is A5. €3. Yeah, these are like $30 full price. I got this one for 15 from Craft Warehouse. So yeah, that's cheap. Jim says the Japanese authorities are not being very cooperative with the Danish detective in the book I'm reading. Ooh, jurisdiction. Miniso is here in Georgia. Is it Korean or Japanese? Google says Asian, so I don't know. A4 is normal size for photocopies here. A5 is half the size. Okay, so A4 is the one that's annoyingly longer, so it doesn't fit into binders, but it's closest to our 8.5 by 11 binder paper. So A5 is half that size, but not vertically, like horizontally. So it's like half of a binder page. For all the Americans out there, take a letter size paper, fold it in half, make it a little wider. There we go. There's another way to say it. Yeah. It's so weird. The bifurcation of the paper market, but we can all get along. It's all good. All right, so that was our third and final sprint. We're just at the tail end here. I have my card I'm working on to send to somebody. This is Sam the cat. I just loved this picture, this candid photo. It's a cat that hangs out at the Pine Tree Market in Wawona in Yosemite. So that's the only postcard / card that I got when I was in Yosemite for the week. Let's see. Cat says, so cute. Yeah, cat is fun. And then Cat Paw looked up Miniso for us and said it is Chinese. Okay. Good to know. So another paper company. I got a lot done. I am going to be switching up gears, probably have a light lunch, and then go to dance. I haven't been to the gym in quite a while because I haven't been up for it, but this K-pop music is making me feel like moving. So I'm going to let the spirit move me with that. And yeah, so that's going to be my next move. Any announcements to share or current reads? So we've heard from Jim, we've heard from Literary Rabbit Hole about current reads, and Kat, Ginger Bibliophile, for the JD Robb read. My current read. So I just finished a couple. The two ones that I'm still working on are Dreaming the Serpent Spear, which is the last in the Boudica series. Even though I'm not reading it for her kid anymore, I do get to finish the series, and it's marvelous so far. And Fascism and Populism in History, which is a denser, slower read. So those are my two current reads. Announcements on my end are, please come to Sunday's stream. It's going to be at Truth and Reconciliation for the Climate Talk. I'll be hosting author Susan Palumbo, who has written Nebula Award-nominated books. Not Agatha, that's mystery. Nebula... I don't know. I just wrote this out in the tags and I've already forgotten. There's like 5 different awards that she's been nominated for. It's amazing. But dark speculative fiction, queer, and Trinidadian Canadian. So like if you're looking for sources for Caribathon reads, it's a little late for this month, but for next year, you might want to put this one in your shopping cart. It's called Countess, her latest novella, but she's also got something with skin in the title. I will be reading it for this Sunday, so I won't forget mid-sentence. But yeah, very excited for that. Prepared for that. And more news on Agitation August and more graphics to come. How about anyone else before we close out? Have they finished the stairs? Okay, so my update on the stairs is that yesterday so it was supposed to be through yesterday, Thursday, and Wednesday I went out mid-morning and I was like, they've abandoned my stairs. There's nothing going on here. They're 2 buildings down. So I went up to the guy in the office who's the manager and said, Has the schedule changed? You didn't update it? Is it still a no access day? Because I'm walking out and nothing's happening. He said, oh, yeah, we got done with it faster than scheduled. I was like, nice of you to update the schedule, because rule follower over here has been quarantining basically so that I didn't interrupt the work. And that was not the right attitude to have, I learned. Yeah, mom was right. Mom sent me an email saying, don't take them at their word all the time. And I was like, yeah, that probably would have been a good idea. But anyway, so they've moved on, and Wednesday went out, felt so much better. Thursday went out, felt so much better. And now they are going to have to replace boards because the deck is not finished, but it's structurally sound. So whenever they do that, it will be limited access workaround, but it's not like this be all end all. You're going to be trapped in your house, which I had understood from the meeting was the way of things. So lesson learned is that don't take people at their word, really, and don't follow every rule you are issued. So with that lovely note, thank you for asking, Cat Paw. I am going and coming as I please. When they come back to do the boards, I will be delighted, because the deck boards are like such trash at this point. But yeah, egress is returned. So, yeah, if you are watching this on the replay and skipping the little productivity sprint bits, thank you for watching on the replay. And if you've got announcements to share, drop them in the comments below when I close this out. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you got a lot done, got a lot read, are excited about your current read, and I will see you on Sunday, I hope. All right, take care, everybody. Happy reading.